welcome back once again to yet another edition of Dialogues with Master Bakers. This time we have with us Ms. Grace Doddi. She is a cake artist and has been baking cake for many years now. She has a son of 7 years old and is a very family oriented person. But in spite of that, her cakes and her attention to her career is so amazing. She has baked more than 6,000 cakes till date. Can you imagine what 6,000 cakes are like? So I will not wait much longer. In fact, I forgot to mention, she is also the founder of a Facebook group called We Are One. We will hear more about it from her. It's a very inspirational group. I think we should listen to it from her. So she is online. Let me just add her.
Hi.
Hi, Grace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, dear?
Yeah, perfectly.
Hey, thank you for having me here.
Welcome, Grace.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
I'm so glad. Yeah, actually, we've always been talking on the phone and never, other than the photos that I've seen of you, I didn't really know how you look like.
Right. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So, to start off with, what I would like to know is, before you were baking, what were you doing?
I used to do trousseau packing earlier. So, like, if you hear trousseau packing, so you can see art is inside me. So, I'm always a very artistic person. And this is how even the career of baking started because of my art. And since I had a lot of stuff with me for trousseau packing, which was thrown, I was pregnant because my husband said, "Ki ye sab, if you will keep all this, if the child consume anything, it's very, harmful for kid." So everything was thrown away so that, for the safe environment. And that art was like itching me to do something. Since the time Zion was born, I started like doing something for him. I used to make photo frames and stuff like that. But then, yeah, I have to do something for my inner peace, I can say, artistic things.
Correct.
But then all these things are very like, I cannot keep it near my child. So I thought, why not doing something edible? So I started buying stuff for making food stuff and decorate it with. Then that's how cake clicked. So like,
but how did you land on cake per se? How did you realize that that cake baking is what is there for you?
Exactly, that's how. No, like I had nothing to create. So to do some creativity, I started baking because it was like harmless for my child, and I could give him something healthy also. So for his monthly birthdays, I started baking, and on his second birthday, we ordered cake from outside. We wanted something with a construction theme, but then that cake didn't turn out to be the way we were expecting. They just made it very normal cake for us. So then I thought, let me try something for him. Then I made a construction themed cake, and everybody was like, "Oh!" And then this is how my people were like amazed to see my creativity.
Okay, so that's how history.
Yeah. Everything happens for the good, I believe.
So so you made that construction theme cake and people enjoyed it. But what made you enter into a business? I mean, start this off as a career.
See, definitely, I was getting very, I wanted to do something. I cannot sit idle. And I was thinking what to do, what not to do. Then, when this cake was like turned out very good, I asked my husband, like, I think this is something I can really go, it's good to go, He was like, yeah, you should definitely try. Then I started telling in my building that I started baking, and my friends supported me and they gave me a very good feedback about things I was, making. So that gave me a lot of, boosting and motivated me to do something more better. So then I started posting on my Facebook, and like that time Insta was not so in. Like I can say 7 years back, Insta was not like so in. I was not
Correct.
aware, but I was always on a social media, Facebook and WhatsApp. And I started posting and
Correct.
people started ordering, and that's how until today I'm only working on basis of recommendations.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, probably that's how I've made more than 10,000 cakes, because 6,000 what I had mentioned was long back. The number has
Acha.
increased.
That increased to 10,000.
I'm sure. I have lost the count, but one day we were trying to create as a lot of things were in the construction. I was trying to go portal on online and stuff. So we were
Correct,
sitting
correct.
and gathering some good photos. Then when I saw my this thing, I had more than 6,000 cake. I was like, when did I make all of them? And now when I see, it's gone above.
Awesome, yeah. So, and after that, do you remember your first order, the very first order that you got as a professional baker?
Yeah, first
What
order I will
can,
never forget. First two orders I will never forget. First one was for cookies. It was for my building friend, and they just gave a very good feedback for that. And it was really a very motivation. Like, you feel, ki, yeah, okay, you can do something. And the first order was for the cupcakes. I still remember that
acha.
lady and today we are very good friends because of that. So she
Acha.
ordered me a designer cupcake, and she and she loved it so much that she started telling all her friends, he order only Grace now. So that's how things, and I can never forget. Thank you, Mansi, if you're watching me. Yeah, so like
Is this superb? And she is still your customer.
she till date, and all her friends are.
So that is 7 years back.
Yeah. So I
So
have a
when you
loyal
started,
customers. I have loyal clients. Like literally, I can say. Yeah.
great. I mean, a lot of bakers that I've spoken to have also given me the same kind of feedback in the sense that they have loyal customers who become friends eventually at the end of the day. They've
I
made
have
so many cakes for them. It's like you have a family doctor and you have a family baker.
baker. Yeah, yeah. I some people call me family baker, and some people like their kids call me baker auntie.
Acha.
Like it's doctor auntie. So now, and it really feels good. You have your own identity,
So
especially.
you kind of are included in their family.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
So, I'm assuming now you have your own kitchen, but when you started off, I'm assuming you started it off at home. So, what kind of setup did you have at home? So, did you have to put in a lot of investment, or how did you start out?
See, investment was like every time I got some money out of my bakes, I used to like I bought initially I took some money from my pocket money and I bought some weighing scale and all that. So and gradually I started saving money, and I thought let me buy one after one small things. Of course, family support was always there, and like they told whatever you want to do, go ahead. Like no stop for anything. So my first kitchen, it was gifted by my husband, and it was a surprise. So, a lot of
Oh, how
things.
sweet of you.
Yeah, yeah. So always
When
there
was
is a
that?
it was 4 5 years back. So 4 years for
So for
yeah.
2 years, so two,
Yeah.
3 years you're working from your home kitchen itself.
Yeah, now it's been 4 years that I have my own separate kitchen. For like
Okay.
almost 3 4 years, I've worked at home, and it was really challenging. And in the same house where there is a like parents, husband, kid, I have made 20 kg cake. Like it was four tier cake and 20 kg cake, and real
Oh
challenging.
my God.
It was the
How did
real.
you manage that?
I had like almost my heart in my hand. Like it was the toughest thing I can think about doing. But it was really a good chat. Like it was as in a good kind of motivation for a home baker. Like, we think when I started my journey as a baker, I used to tell my husband, मैंने कहा एक केक भी मिल जाएगा ना, I'm happy. मतलब कुछ तो कर रही हूँ मैं ऐसे type. But I never thought that I will be an entrepreneur once. Like, And like today, I can proudly say people know me because of baking. And that is how,
Correct.
we are one started. Lot of things. And my thing is like, we have a baker group also where my clients, my friends have turned bakers.
Correct.
So no problem. Like I feel one should be supporting each other.
In fact, one such baker, I'm associated with her as well. She's Manvi. She's in Khargar. In
Yeah.
fact, I was talking. I just happened to speak to her today, and she was telling me about you and how you were her inspiration to become a baker. She was all praises for you. She said, your name is Grace. It's not only in your name; everything about you is graceful.
Thank you,
Is
Man.
what she said.
No, thank you.
I hope she's watching.
Yeah, I'm sure. And thanks to all the people, they have given so much love that I cannot give it back in words. But all my heart, like I can pray and like, I feel like there is no competition. Everybody has their own set of clients.
Correct.
So if sometimes, people say, अरे तूने group बना के खुद के competitions खड़े कर दिए. I'm like, no, there is no competition. Everybody is going to get what they are like destined to get. Nobody is your competitor until you don't want to grow yourself. You keep growing.
Correct.
Absolutely, there are people, there are going to be a lot of new things coming up in your life.
Yeah,
So,
especially now there are a lot of home bakers who have come up. I mean, when you started, there weren't that many,
yeah, yeah,
but now, I mean, I think every building will have a home baker. You hear so
definitely.
many.
Absolutely. And everybody is doing their own good. Like, see, बोलते ना खाना है तो पेट है सब कुछ है like God gives you everything, so there is a lot
Correct.
of things like always you have to trust yourself first in every situation.
हाँ, सबका सब हो ही जाता है. सबका they will have their own niche and उसके
Yeah,
हिसाब
yeah,
से everybody
yeah.
जितना मेहनत करते हैं उसके हिसाब से I guess everybody
Absolutely,
gets there.
absolutely, absolutely. And then once people develop your taste, they will go to somebody, but they might come back to you. And
Correct.
I believe as an entrepreneur, as an home baker, as an person, if you keep a good contacts, if you don't treat your clients as a client, when you start treating them as a friend or a person you can get close, they will be always associate with you for something good, you know. So like keeping good relationships are very important with everybody.
Correct. That is true of any business, whether it is a baker business or any business,
Really,
any
any business.
entrepreneur. Relationship
Definitely.
management is one of them.
Definitely, I was dealing with one of the Chembur stuff, like where I get this stuff from. Other than Arif, there is like a new shop come up in Chembur, where I order.
अच्छा.
This guy is so humble. अगर 5 रुपए का भी चीज मांगो ना, he will answer you. He will not say कि मैडम मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. It's the World of Chocolate is the name of this shop, and that person
अच्छा.
behavior is very important. And when you start behaving snobbishly, नहीं मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है and all, मैं इतने छोटे छोटे काम नहीं करता, then you start thinking कि नहीं I have better options. People will start finding better
Correct.
options. So how you treat your customers are very important.
Correct. Your attitude, whatever
Yeah,
attitude you give out is what going to come back to you. So when you
absolutely.
started off, you said you didn't think of this as a profession. You were telling your husband, "मेरे में एक cake पे मिल जाए तो बहुत है." So when did it become like a proper profession, and when did you actually start thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur?
Honestly, there was not much time to think about it. Time I started within a year, I saw myself baking one cake in a day at least. You know,
Okay. Oh my God,
so
that's almost 30 cakes in a.
yeah, so I used to make only one cake in a day, and I used to be scared of giving the best finishing, and and my mother used to say, "पूरे दिन में एक cake बनाएगी तो कैसे? How will you earn?" So I'm like,
Correct. Correct.
okay. And to tell you this, I'm a self learner. I have not gone any classes other than once
Correct.
I had gone for like one kind of workshop where you don't get
Okay.
hands-on practice. So once that workshop I had gone, that's it. So I don't know much about baking like already. So I used to do a lot of experiments. So everything was self-learned. So one cake in a day was enough to teach me a lot of things. Then there were
Okay.
relatives whose marriage used to come. मैं बनाऊंगी cake. ऐसे it was like, and that enthusiasm was always there, कि I will give you the cake and all that. So gradually things worked out.
So now how many cakes do you make in a month? You started off, you said within a year you were making 30 cakes a month. So अभी कितना बनाते हो महीने में?
After lockdown, things are really slowed down. But there were the
अच्छा.
days I have made literally 10 to 15 cakes in a day.
How do you manage 10 to 50? I couldn't even imagine something
Actually,
like that.
sometimes even I cannot imagine how did I even imagine. It's all about planning, and like lot of planning and lot of thinking the process goes. Like sometimes people call me, you're very absent-minded. But a lot of times, my brain is working on the designs and like, how will I manage? How will I bake? Ye cake banaung? Like a lot of, construction goes on in your mind. So, like, when there is a will, there is always a way. And obviously, family support is something you cannot go without.
Right. Especially when it concerns home, because you are working from home, you definitely need the support of your.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I lost the
Hi,
con.
I think I lost the connection. I don't know what happened.
No worries.
Yeah, so I was I was asking you. So now, do you have like a business plan for the year? Do you make a plan? So this is how many cakes I should be making. I should be having this kind of target. Do you do something like that?
Yeah, I had a lot of plans before pandemic to open a cafe and all that. But since it's a
Okay.
slowdown and things are like, so I'm just waiting for things to work, like let the situation become little normalized. Then I have certain plans, but for baking, a lot of things like for bakers, like I think not just me, a lot of us are going to like we face this problem that we only believe in serving fresh things, we don't
Correct.
keep and don't bake and keep
Hmm.
for weeks and all. So when it comes to challenges like suppose somebody wants brownie, somebody wants stuff, like managing things alone is quite difficult. So you need to have a lot of staff and place, like a better
Correct.
place to
Correct.
work
Correct.
on. So for that, things need to like become little normal, and situation has to be little normal. Then let's see. God has all the plans. I think more than me, God has more the plans. So I just believe, go with the flow.
Perfect. Now, even going with the flow. So, say just this your own kitchen, the thing that you are running right now. So, do you set targets for yourself and say that in a year or in a month I should do so many cakes, or it is as and when?
No, I think I never had any target. As I told you, one cake was also good for me. I
Correct.
believe everything is, destined. Everything is going to go with the time and just go with the flow. Lot of things we planned before pandemic, and I think we were blessed that they didn't work. We
Okay.
already were going to hire a cafe. We were going to set things. A lot of things were planned before pandemic,
Correct. Correct.
but they did not turn out. There was no disappointment that time also, and today also I feel I'm blessed. Good they didn't happen. Otherwise, I would have started paying rent for stuff. Like a lot of things,
Okay.
investment would
Correct.
have been. So I always believe there is a reason for everything, and God has plans, better plans than what we think. So I just believe go with the flow.
So, and you were talking about how you are a self-taught baker and you experimented and you figured out what goes right, what goes. So what is, in your opinion, is it okay to be a self-taught baker, or do you feel that, doing a course or, getting that particular know-how is important
No, I think self-baking is good for people like me who have, like, as I don't have a big targets, like, but if you have a lot of, like, if I have to start a cafe and all that, like, definitely there is a lack of knowledge. Sometimes I feel I should have done some, like, courses where I could learn a lot of things, so maybe it would have helped me. So if you have a bigger plans or you have a, other like kind of big setups you want to plan for, definitely learning is, you learn self also and you should learn from outside also. Learning in any circumstances is important.
Okay. So how do you keep yourself updated with all the, because baking is, ever evolving. There are new techniques, new types of cakes, everything new keeps coming up. So how do you keep yourself updated?
Updated YouTube's, Insta is a right like nowadays a very good medium. Friends, there are baker groups, like so you keep you should what I believe, observe everything, grasp
Correct.
everything, learn everything, and input in your way. If something you are doing, I don't need necessarily need to do the same thing. I can
Correct.
do better or I can do worst, but in my own way. I don't believe if Grace is making certain cake, I have even like X person also has to make the same cake. You can make better than me. I can make better than you. There are certain times you have to become your own, kind of challenger,
Teacher.
teacher, challenging.
Talking about challenges, so in these past 7 years, what kind of challenges have you faced as an entrepreneur, or
I've
especially as a woman entrepreneur?
uh, basic challenge. What I have always faced in delivery. Like I'm sure a lot of us have faced this problem when cakes
Yeah,
are
yeah,
to be
totally.
delivered. The most fragile thing on earth is cake, I believe. Usko ek jagah se dusri jagah, and my cakes have gone to Igatpuri also, from Mumbai to
Oh wow.
Igatpuri, and from here to Panvel, here to Mira Road and Vasai. So that transit जब तक वो ठीक से पहुंचता नहीं है, sometimes I have gone to deliver, sometimes I have sent my family to deliver, sometimes I have hired people to deliver. So until it doesn't reaches to the destination properly, it is like, you're so
Heart is in your mouth, right?
I'm like, not in the mouth, it's in literally in the hand. I keep praying, like it should reach on time and it should reach on kind of. There was an incident that I had sent cake to Mira Road, and it took almost 4 hours to reach. And that
Okay.
it was not in my hand, definitely. Estimated time for from here to Mira Road is 2.5, maximum 3 hours,
Yeah.
so I had client gave me time and I told I will be delivering at certain time. The party had started. The person was like, I'm calling, where are you? Where Madam bus pahunch raha hu, Madam bus pahunch raha hu. It took 4 hours and I did not know what will happen next. But then my client was like obviously furious in the beginning.
Correct.
She was like quite upset with me and all that. I said, okay, let's talk later on. Once you cut the cake, we'll talk tomorrow. No problem. I'm not in hurry. And I had not taken money also from her, a
Okay.
penny also. I said, we'll talk tomorrow. Obviously, I was feeling quite guilty about it. It was on me to deliver on time. Basic thing,
Correct.
challenge comes delivering cake on time is also a big challenge. So things were like literally not in my hand. And next day when she called, I thought she will be blasting at me and things would have been. But she was so calm. She was like, your cake turned out so nice कि मेरा पूरा गुस्सा उधर ठंडा हो गया. I said, तो ठीक है. So, and timing, delivery, packaging, everything is a challenging, and keeping it fresh stuff, like in एक फ्रिज
Correct.
में इतना सब फ्रेश रखना भी, कभी कभी घर का खाना सब बाहर होता था पहले, और सिर्फ मेरे केक होते थे. So like from freezer
तो उस
to
हिसाब से तो फिर if you want to increase your business, then infrastructure that is required, जैसे कि like you're saying कि केक को fresh रखना होता है, तो the fridge या whatever, the cooler, whatever is required to keep a cake fresh. So those must be expensive, right? To have
today I have three fridge, two at workshop, my workplace, and one is at home. तो अगर कुछ होता है तो घर पे आ जाता है केक बन. And otherwise full day AC is on. So we keep like things ready and keep it in the AC. Infrastructure is very important. See, as you keep growing, obviously you keep start investing. And when you know your potential, definitely you have to invest in it. So from home till workshop, I have invested. I have taken earlier I had one table, now I have two table. Earlier I had one small OTG, then I took big 56-liter OTG. Now I have a gas oven. Earlier I had a one fridge, now I have three fridges. See, when you know your potential, it is going to be like, you have to keep increasing your potential day by day.
आपको कभी ऐसा you ever feel that कि oh, when will my next order come from? Now I'm sure you're getting your orders, but in the beginning when you started off, did you ever feel when will my next order come from? What will
And
happen next?
अभी भी anxiety होती है. After pandemic, definitely things are not like earlier. And as you told, there are a lot of bakers and all that. तो होता है अभी भी. But then with God's grace, I told you, since I am in this business from so many years and I have lot of recommendations. Like कहाँ कहाँ से एक के बाद एक recommendation आ जाती है. So there is not a single day I am not baking with God's grace, touch wood. So but है थोड़ी बहुत
That's it.
एंजाइटी होती है टच वुड. हाँ बट